Hello, welcome to the channel. It's me, your host, Beaky. This next story is called The Ghost in the Alley. Sit back and enjoy. Rumors rife about the alleyway behind the tavern. It was haunted, folks said. Haunted by the ghost of a young girl who had been found murdered in that same passage. Some people avoided the small street after dark, for the spirit was said to be a vengeful one. Of course, no one could name anyone whom the ghost actually killed, but those tales were enough to keep people away from it. Fortunately for the owners of the tavern that backed into the alley, their front door was faced well lit, and so business was not a slack. Then one night, while the tavern was full of drinkers, a nasty character named O'Hare wandered into the bar. Women and children were not safe in his presence, but especially not women. After O'Hare had consumed far too much alcohol, he suddenly announced to the bar that he had been out. He had consumed far too much alcohol, and he suddenly announced to the bar that he'd seen a pretty young thing out in the alleyway in the back of the tavern. The bartender froze in the middle of polishing glasses, and the young man turned around to exchange covert glances. No one said a word, but I was thinking about the ghost of that very vengeful young girl. Everyone in the bar looked at his or her glasses, and as he stumbled to his feet, no one made a move to stop him. And there was no quiet whispers of he deserves what's coming to him. But as O'Hare left, it's just too bad that there isn't really a ghost, thought the bartender, sitting down, shining glasses, picked up another one to polish. O'Hare sorely needed a lesson in human kindness and respect for others. At that moment, a horrible scream came from the alley. Everyone in the tavern looked up in shock and fear. Had there really been a ghost out there? Or was O'Hare up to his old tricks and now accosting one of their womenfolk? The men leapt to their feet and raced to the back of the tavern, pouring out into the streets where they met an unnatural cold in their eyes, dazzled by a blaze of light. The bartender thrust his way to the front of the crowd and saw the grisly body of O'Hare lying in the pool of light, white. His throat had been torn to pieces and the blood was spilling. Above him hovered a semi-transparent figure of a young girl, her eyes gleaming with a red fire, her mouth covered in his blood. She glanced down at O'Hare and turned towards the crowd. The specter licked the blood from her lips thoughtfully, her eyes on the bartender's neck, and then she vanished, taking the light with her. At her feet, O'Hare gasped out the last of his breath and died. The local authorities were summoned to deal with the body of O'Hare. Though skeptical at first, they were eventually convinced, since no one had seen many eyewitnesses who had seen the ghost hovering over a dying man. The bartender resigned to his position and the next morning took a job across the town. The memory of the ghost's hungry stare at his neck prompting him to look elsewhere for employment. If you enjoyed the story, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and leave a like. It does well for the channel. And as I always say in closing, have a safe night, guys. Hope you enjoyed this.